Yes, sir. So Russell Westbrook has been going out sad, going out bad, whichever way you want to put it, man. He's being made the scapegoat in LA because, of course, LeBron can't take any blame. But then on the flip side, bro, when you watch the highlights or lowlights, you're going to be like, man, this dude is playing horribly, which he is. People are calling him Westbrick, and he deserves that name. You, when you have your wife, significant other stepping in to talk about the criticism that you've been receiving, bro, you already taken another L. You're going to get called Westbrick in every arena from here on out until you play better. Basically, until you get out of LA because that's not helping you. We already knew that that trade was terrible from the get-go, but here we are. LeBron missed the game. They call L's. Now, basically, Russell Westbrook is looking for pity because it's a shame on his name or whatever and whatnot. This generation of players are soft. The Lakers are the only team that has multiple incidents to where they're kicking fans out of a game. So you mean to tell me this old ass team that's supposed to be veterans is so concerned about the outside noise and what's being said that they can't ball, they can't make any noise? They worried about all of the noise from the fanatics that are trying to watch you play? Neither here nor there. Shannon, leader of the new stands when it comes to LeBron, is about to rip Russell Westbrook a new one. Let's check it out.
Hadn't done. It hadn't bothered him enough to play better. What about that, Chris? Has that thought ever crossed his mind?
He can't shoot.
Oh,
He can't shoot. It ain't gonna make him shoot better.
so guess what's gonna happen now? Every road trip cross his mind.
He can't shoot.
Oh,
He can't shoot. It ain't gonna make him shoot better.
So guess what's gonna happen now? Every road trip, what do you think they're gonna say? Once he said, "This bothers me," what do you think's gonna?
He messed up right there, bro. Whenever you're in competitive sports, you do not let the opposition know that they are in your head. You're lost. You have people like a Patrick Beverly who are out here in recreational leagues, professional leagues, high school, college, and whatnot. Their main job is to be an antagonizer. Their main job is to get into the star player's head. If the star player shows signs that you're in his head, you're winning. You're going to let people know that you're bothered by people calling you Westbrick? Well, brother, you got to make shots and you wouldn't be throwing up bricks.
What do you think when he goes to Milwaukee, he goes to any other arena for the rest of his career? What do you think they're going to shout, Chris?
Westbrick.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
I don't know how LeBron, I don't know how Bronny, I don't know how Bryce, I don't know how Zuri, I don't know how they're going to do anything. Because all the names that their dad has been called, I don't know how they're gonna function. I have no idea. I don't have no empathy for him because they didn't call him out of his name. They didn't call him boy like somebody did in Utah. They didn't make no ape gestures, no monkey. They didn't call him the N-word. They did none of that. This is on his plate. This ain't got nothing to do with him. It's his plate that led him. Magic Johnson. It was the headline, Tragic Johnson. Every arena he went to, Tragic Johnson, until he changed that narrative. Magic had won two finals MVPs at that point in his career, and they called him tragic. He didn't say a word. He said, you know what, I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to get me 3 more titles, and I'm going to win me some 3 MVPs, and I'm going to shut all this up. All Russ has to do is play better. Stop talking about all that, my son, my kid. Bro, ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Hey, yo, man. Shannon and Skip brought Chris Broussard on just for him to witness them vent. They got tired of venting with each other. They brought on the third party just so that he can be a witness to the nonsense. Westbrick is bugging right now, and he's letting the whole world know that he has a weak mentality, bro. He's weak when it comes down to taking words from a fanatic or whatever. How many times, how many incidents are we going to hear about Russell Westbrook and a fanatic, bro? It doesn't add up.
Because you need to play better. Because that's being a professional athlete. Trust me. I'm sure my mom and my girlfriends at the time heard people say, Shannon Sharpe, you a bum.
Yep.
Shannon Dawes, you're not sharp. You're not your brother. All that.
Hey, yo, pay attention to Skip because you know he wants to burst out laughing. They said Shannon Sharpe. No, Shannon Dahl. You not sharp.
Comes along with the territory. As long as you wasn't calling me the N or you wasn't calling me no racial tone, I'm good with it. Because guess what? I'm going to come back, I'm going to play better, and you'll clap for me, and you'll applaud me the next time. We understand there are certain things that comes along with our job. When you play bad, I ain't never hear him say when they call him Brody, is this last name Brody? Is this last name Mr. Triple Dub? You see how that goes, Chris Broussard? As long as we're giving praise and adulation, nobody has a problem with what Skip Bayless says.
But that's just the era that we're in, Shannon. You're pretty hip to that, though, bro. We're in an era to where nobody wants to hear criticism. Nobody wants to hear the hard truth because everybody wants to hear pleasant lies. That's why people are falling out. Nobody's being real with each other. But on another note, you got Russell Westbrook, right? You would think if people are talking shit about you, and not even in professional sports, high school or whatever it may be, bro, if people are talking shit about you, what do you want to do? You want to bust his ass. You want to make the defender pay. You feel me? You want to go out there and ball. You're not going to go out there shooting up bricks, and then you basically encouraging people to call you the name. All you've been doing is bricking. You ran Kevin Durant away. You ran Paul George away, Melo away, and now you reunited with Melo in L.A. That's not going to work. You ran, like, come on, bro. How many people are you going to run away? And then now LeBron is basically in the shadows while Westbrick is getting all of the harsh criticism. But if this was going well, guess who would be getting the praise? Not Westbrook, not Melo, not the coach. It would be LeBron.
Shannon Sharpe or Chris Broussard. But the moment we checked you about your inadequate play, now you got a problem. Play better. That's what you do. Play better, and they won't say it. But I don't know how LeBron should be fighting every night up in the stands. So you think they call him LeBron? They call him LeBron James? They called him what? Called him LeBum? Called him LeMickey? Because he won the title? All that, over and over. For 19 years.
Called him LeBrick.
Call him LeBrick.
LeBrick, right.
And here Russ gonna talk about, oh, you know, my son, you know, man, stop this, Russ. What he's trying to do is he's trying to, and it worked on you, Chris. He's trying to elicit sympathy. It worked on you. Because
it's going to work on people because that human side is going to come out. They're going to be like, damn, you know what? Russ is getting a bad rep right now, man. Damn, you know what? His kids went to go see him. Damn, they got to hear people calling him Westbrick, even though he's throwing up shots that are hitting the backboard. Bro, this comes with the fucking territory, man. You guys are supposed to be the modern day Roman gladiators, and you guys are acting like modern day bitches, bro. Dudes are sensitive, bro, to the extreme. Can't take any criticism, can't hear anything from a fan who paid his hard-earned cash to go watch you play. So now you want to get him kicked out when he hurts your feelings. He says something that you don't like. It makes no sense, bro. And it's always Westbrick. It's always Westbrook. Who's going to feel bad for him when he's playing like shit, bro? The man needs to take a week off.
See, but here's what I would say. If he just came out of the blue and said this, I think that'd be one thing. But his wife was tweeting it, and of course he's going to publicly support.
And they're not going to say it, but Skip Bayless blocked her ass, as he should. The fuck you want to do talking to his wife? His wife need to be minding her business. You're never going to win when your wife sticks in on these Twitter battles, social media bullshit. It's not going to do good. It's not going to do you any justice.
His wife as he should, and then he was asked about it.
yeah.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I think he was asked about it. I don't know if he would have brought it up by himself and say, you know what? I got to tell y'all, you know, this Westbrick is bothering me. Like, to me, that's different. He didn't say it unsolicited. He was asked your thoughts on these tweets, which she addressed those issues. So that's why he went there, in my view.
Poor Savannah James. I don't know how she lives. I don't know how Savannah James.
Basically. Look at Skip. Skip is lying. Skip is dying this whole segment, man. I can imagine that the man abdominal muscles are tight because he's holding in all of that laughter, bro. Is calling the man Westbrick that disrespectful? Let's be honest. You're throwing up bricks, bro. You're not making your shots. You're shooting a low percentage. Just the other night against the Spurs, you shot 5 for 14, 17 points, 5 turnovers, bruh. You're not the same Russ. You lost a step. You have to perfect your craft, bruh. You have to go the Derrick Rose route. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw some finesse in your game. You're throwing airball layups and whatnot, and you're getting mad that people are calling you out because you're playing like shit. What do you expect a fan base that has expectations of seeing high quality content on the basketball court? I mean, you guys just won a championship a couple years ago, bro. And now this, you're not even in the playoffs if they started tomorrow.
Lived for since she's known LeBron James, because I can assure you they've been dating since the 8th grade. I don't know how she's made it.
Shout out to Savannah James. We don't hear anything from her. She's just playing her role, raising her kids, and not worrying about the noise because they're coming from people that want to be your husband, bro. People don't get it. These fanatics want to be you. These fanatics will allow you to have sex with their wives if you wanted to.
That woman is the strongest woman. You talk about Mary being able to birth Jesus in her 50s. See, this is the strongest woman ever created, is Savannah James, because all they do is slander her husband. And we never hear a peep.
Okay, my turn. To Chris's initial point, Chris, I told Shannon to open this show today that, yeah, I have a heart. I feel bad for his wife. I went back and forth with her on Twitter on Saturday night, and I told her how much I love the fact that she supports her husband, heart and soul.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to watch in action, because I love that Ernestine would die for me in the same way.
Right.
And I feel for the kids, but it's not my fault. It's not Shannon's fault. It's not Twitter's fault. It's not Laker Nation's fault. In the end, it's the father's fault, because the father is only being criticized, as Shannon pointed out so well, in the basketball context. I don't know if I originated this Westbrick nickname back in 2012, but I started using it in 2012, and I might have created it. I'm not sure. But I did not intend it as a personal insult, as any kind of slur.
Skip, we don't need any disclaimer. You called the man Westbrick. He shoots bricks more than he makes shots. It's okay. You don't have to try to walk back, try to soften up the statements or whatever to make Nina Westbrook or whatever her name is feel better and whatnot. Tell her to kick rocks and worry about your husband. Build up your husband. What is she doing talking to you about what you're saying? You're doing your job. You've been doing this for how long?
Any kind of disrespect on his family name. Right. It was strictly in the basketball context, because I got so irritated and frustrated that I love Kevin Durant so much.
Bro, you weren't the only irritated one. We all were watching what this man was doing in Oklahoma City, bro. It was clear as day that Kevin Durant was going to leave because he couldn't play with this bum. No disrespect. He couldn't play with Westbrook. This man is dribbling the ball and he feels like it's my turn to take a big shot. No, dude, you're not the star player. You're not the go-to guy. You're the playmaker. You get the best player the shot and he takes it. But this man wants to shoot up a brick to prove a point. Stat padding, Mr. Triple Dub. When everything's going good, everybody wants to soak up all the praise, take up all the little cute nicknames and whatnot. But when things go down and they crash hard, people don't want to hear anything.
2012, and Russ was taking more shots than Kevin, and he was Westbricking a lot of those shots.
Yeah.
And it was driving me crazy. And speaking of death wishes, I've never said this publicly, but I'm going to just throw it out for context. Those were the days I was reading all my mentions on Twitter. And I got to tell you, I got so many death threats ahead of us taking our show on, we were at ESPN, obviously, on the road to the 2012 finals. Remember, it's LeBron versus KD.
Right.
I'm going back to my hometown of Oklahoma City. I needed 24-hour protection. I needed a bodyguard to literally sleep in my room to protect me because ESPN deemed the death threats very credible.
Right.
Okay? So again, we live with it because we're in the public eye.
Right.
Did I lose any sleep?
Right.
No, I didn't lose any sleep over it, and I'm sorry they're going through it. But as Shannon keeps pointing out, it's real simple. You can fix this by making shots. And the problem I had, Chris, with Russ saying this after last night, he had done it again. He had missed 9 more shots.
Right.
He had gone 0 for 2 from 3, and in the fourth quarter, he had gone 1 for 6. while Carmelo had a hot hand, got one shot in the fourth quarter and missed it. Russ had 5 more turnovers. He's running away with the turnover lead in the NBA once again. And Chris, he has now fallen in three-point shooting to the very bottom. He is the single worst three-point shooter out of 152 qualified. He is now the 3rd worst free throw shooter because he missed 6 more last night. He was 7 of 13.
Right.
6 more free throws. He's second from the bottom. He is the starting point guard for the most famous team in professional basketball, a team that was favored before the season started to win it all.
Right.
Now 8 games under 500
Right.
because he couldn't lead them to a win at San Antonio against a team that's 15 games under 500. So it's hard for me to dredge up any sympathy for Russ because I'm sorry, that nickname is actually pretty cleverly but derisively effective.
Right.
It's 100% accurate, bro. Skip, you are 100% right. You do your job to the T. You get under people's skin, you get the clicks, you get the mentions, and then you get the segments, bro. People are in their feelings when they know you're right. If you wasn't right, they would brush it off and go about their business, but they know you're right. You're in their head. They're watching ESPN. They hear you calling them names and whatnot, even though the names aren't disrespectful. But what do? They want to respond to you. They want to talk all this bullshit, talk all this trash talk to fans that aren't playing against them. Can't affect the game whatsoever. The name is 100% accurate, man.
It's what he shoots Westbrick.
Well, you said he was the worst three-point shooter and near the bottom at free throws. Let me tell you something else he's worse at, Chris. Of guys that attempt at least 6 shots per game in the restricted area. He's dead last.
Dead last.
You do know the restricted area is, Skip. Right, Chris? You know what that area is. You covered the NBA for 30 years. He's dead last. So that's your point guard. Inefficient. Turnover prone. Bad free throw.
And mentally unstable, bro. Mentally unstable. The man didn't even care about the backlash to people talking about him wearing a skirt, kilt, whatever you want to call it. But he wants to respond to people calling him Westbrick. It's a shame that people are calling him Westbrick, but it's not a shame that the man is rocking a dress / skirt / kilt on Broad Street for a photo shoot. That brings no shame at all. It just shows you that the man is mentally unstable. How many incidents is he going to get into? A shouting match, telling people he's going to beat them up in the stands. He's not even focused on the game, bro. He's not 100% there. The man needs anger management, and the man needs sensitivity training, and the man needs mental health awareness. Period, point blank, because he's not all there upstairs. That's it.
Three-point shooter. Hold on. So what Paul Tony, all the time they talk about Tony, Tony, oh no.
Right.
Yep.
Man, stop this. When you got to catch it, Chris, you know how this works, Chris. When you got to catch a nickname and you do something bad, somebody's going to find a way to equate something negative to it and tie it to the nickname, to your name. That's just the way it works. Magic, tragic. Right. Tragic Johnson. Hold on, the man's a 2-time MVP. The man was a 2-time Finals MVP with 2 titles, and he had one bad moment, and he's Tragic Johnson. He's not Magic. Play better. It's not just. Say, son, you know what? This is what happened. When things are not going your way, you put your head down and you do better. You perform better. That's what you do. But that's not what he's doing. What he's trying to do is talk about, they're calling me Westbrick and yada yada yada. Well, talk about that performance. Talk about, and Skip asked me earlier, Chris, say, were you disappointed? I'm like Russ. I had no expectations for last night. Like he had no expectations coming to the Lakers and playing with AD and LeBron. I had absolutely no expectations. That's why I wasn't disappointed with his performance. I gave up 25, 30 games ago. This is what he is. This is who he is. I've accepted it.
Yeah, and final point, please. Chris, I just wish that once after one of these games that Russ would own this.
Thank
just say,
you.
It's my fault. I just got to get better. But now he's trying to make himself and his family the victims
And he brought
here.
the kids into it.
Okay.
He brought the kids into it. He got Chris. He got Chris on his side now. And Chris.
Hey, yo, man, they going hard on the man, but rightfully so because he deserves it, bro. You're a professional athlete, but you're acting like a liberal bitch. Perpetual victimhood to where you want to bring your family into the mix? Bro, you're a professional athlete. This is what you signed up for. This comes with the territory. Now you're acting like a victim, like a liberal bitch, man. Makes no sense.
Talking about the guy was inefficient and turned the ball over. He got Chris out here crying.
Chris got a heart.
Guys, we've
Chris,
got to
Hey, yo, Chris couldn't even get a word in. He's about to start talking, then now you got the moderator saying, okay, guys, that's enough of that. How you bring Chris Broussard on as a third party and the man basically said about 7 words? But yo, on a serious note, bro, it's only right to feel bad for Russ when he's owning up for the terrible play that he's participating in, that he's showing. It's only right to feel bad for Russell Westbrook if he's actually owning up to him playing terrible. He's acting like a liberal woman in this society because that woman does not take any accountability for her actions. She feels like you're just going to look over that. You feel me? That's Russell Westbrook. That bad dime piece that basically shitted on you, but now she's back around, didn't change anything about her. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to get worse or is it going to get better? Words will never hurt you, man. It's enough of that. I'm out.